All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shiny Reboot. Today, I got a different style of video. I saw this video from a guy, funnily enough, his name was Fart Sniffer, okay? And it was titled, Why the YouTube Algorithm is Bullshit. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen it, and although he brings up some good points, I do disagree for some reasons. I could explain it in another video, if that's what you guys want. However, the video did inspire me, and since I now have a somewhat small audience of people that listen to my content, which is amazing, like, I'm incredibly grateful for that, I wanted to rant about something I've been thinking about, my own problem that I have thought about and considered for the past couple years. And that is why most modern FPS games are bullshit. Now, I got a 10-reason list that I'm going to go through, and yeah, I'm just going to rant for a little bit. And if you guys like this style of content, let me know in the comments below. Should I do more of this? You guys like the Titanfall 2 gameplay? You want to see a different game? Want to hear me rant about different topics? You know, obviously, but let's just get straight into it. So, number one on this list, there are way too many microtransactions. Way too many microtransactions. And, couple reasons why I found this is, I'll play every once in a while a game that I used to play a lot the past couple of years especially. Modern Warfare 2019 Call of Duty, and they still have microtransactions in that game for whatever reason. The game is 6 years old, and I get, like, some people, you know, you can decide what to spend your money on or whatever, but like, why is that still in the game? That doesn't make any sense. You know, the only thing you could play is multiplayer in that game, and the lobbies barely fill. So I don't know why we need a store in that game still, but again, it's like an addictive thing, you know? It's the next cool thing in the game, and like, especially for like kids that play that game, they're gonna want to buy the next cool thing to be able to show it off. And it's like, what happened to like the old style of gaming where you would just grind for a skin, and like you saw somebody with a skin and you were like, dude, that guy plays the game, he's really good. You'd see his level and you're like, oh yeah, like that that guy plays this game a lot. Like, that doesn't happen anymore. It's all like, oh, he's just level 100 battle pass, cool. He also paid for it, and he could have bought his way to get that skin. I mean, it's just like so pay to look cool. And I miss the style of games where you had to grind for the skin you wanted instead of having to just pay for it. Number two, I think especially a lot of modern FPS companies are investing in the complete wrong places. For instance, why are we innovating graphics so much? I mean, to an extent where these games are getting so realistic, instead of the gameplay aspect in FPS games. Like, why are we not innovating about different ways to play FPS games, and we're just looking for the next cool graphic? Now, don't get me wrong, graphics is a big part of it, but these old-style games, like Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, especially Call of Duty. I'm going to talk about Call of Duty a lot because it's a game that I used to play a lot, and I've played a lot recently, and so it's just one that I can keep going back to for examples. Like, those games looked fine, and the gameplay of them is great. And so why are we not investing in, like, new storylines? Like, you know, you got Call of Duty 23 Black Ops 7, right? And most games nowadays require you to have, like, the best GPU and CPU to compete at a high level. Whereas, like, games 5 years ago, as long as your PC could run Minecraft, you know, you could compete at a high enough level. You obviously might not be the best. You might be at a disadvantage, but you could definitely compete. Another thing that companies... I don't get how this is still a problem. Server stability. And I get a lot of people play games, and people are probably playing games more than ever nowadays. But... why are server stability in most games is horrible, especially Call of Duty, again, big example, but also like games like Apex, you know, hacker situations are awful. I mean, what is going on where we're investing in graphics and this new AI tech? Oh gosh, don't even get me started. And like, when server stability and the storytelling and all this could easily be invested in and could make much better games. Kind of leads me into my next point, that game developers don't listen to the community, or when they listen, it's just to a super big minority of the community, which is going to make a lot of people not enjoy the game that they're playing. For instance, sweats are a minority in gaming. I happen to be one of them, okay? So I understand what it's like when games cater to people like me who want to be really sweaty in the game, and casuals just feel like they get left behind, and they're like, why am I playing this game when I'm just going to hop on and get absolutely destroyed by somebody who has a ton more hours in the game, and you know, you stand no chance because they have the max loadout, the max gun, you know, attachments. It's like, that's bullshit. Like, you should be able to hop on after playing, get on with some friends, and just, you know, have a good time. And, you know, that's another thing that's happened is, you know, there's a lot of isolation going on. That's a later point that I'll get to. But modern games feel like they cater way too much to people who are not the majority of players, especially casual players. Definitely a big majority of players. And they're not catering towards, they're catering towards a more sweaty, a more competitive style of gaming, which there's not a lot of money in. And, you know, if we're talking from a money side, I don't know why this is happening. Maybe somebody can inform me. Big example of this was 2020 Call of Duty Warzone. Dude, I remember this time. This was the most fun Call of Duty, at least in my experience, has ever been. I know the Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2 people are going to get mad at me. But for me personally, Call of Duty Warzone in 2020 was the most fun I've ever had playing FPS games. It felt like you could run anything. It felt like you could play any way, play with friends, play solo, and you were just having a good time. I get that we were also in the midst of a pandemic, but still, like, I feel like that was just so much more fun than games nowadays where, like, if I hop in an Apex Legends game, I'm getting shit on. And I get, like, that's supposed to happen sometimes, but, like, every time, like all the time, all I'm running into is sweats and people just trying to get the next TikTok clip and all that stuff. I feel like I'm old here saying this shit, but it really just gets to me that companies are catering towards the more sweaty audience when the majority of players just want to hop on and have a good time. And again, I'm a sweaty player, so I get it. Next point, 4. There are so many sequels. Why are there so many sequels? There's no original game development for stories anymore. There's no original IPs. This one gets me pretty fired up because I create content. I create YouTube videos, and I love this creative style of coming up with a new idea for a video. And this ain't it. Like, the new Call of Duty calling cards, for an example, this isn't even the story. The calling cards are just AI generated. And yeah, they might be edited by humans, but, like, what are we doing? How do we not have money to pay somebody to just make calling cards? I feel like this is not that hard of a thing to do. Like, oh yeah, can't wait to hop on, and as I said, Call of Duty 23, Black Ops 7. Like, man, can we get something other than Black Ops and Modern Warfare? I think that's the only thing that's come out in Call of Duty, except for Cold War and Vanguard, in the past 7 years, 8 years. And then Black Ops 7 is just a smoother remake of Black Ops 6 that also added wall bouncing. Like, cool. Are we serious? That's it? It just feels like, going into my next point, it just feels like there's a lot of lazy development. As I said, the AI use of Call of Duty cards, I don't know what we're doing. Why can't we just pay people to make this? What is going on? How do these companies not have enough money to pay actual artists and actual graphic designers to make things such as calling cards or build out a storyline for a new campaign that doesn't require AI generation? Oh my goodness, that really gets to me as somebody involved in the content creation process. Next point, half-baked release. I didn't say that right. Half-baked releases. So I don't get how this is an issue, and I feel like I'm getting pretty fired up because this one is what literally got me to stop playing Call of Duty when it felt like it could have gone in such a good direction. Games were just launching with way too many bugs, way too many glitches. And most games launching with glitches, I'm not going to have a problem with, right? Like, I get that you're going to have some issues here and there. But really? Like, there were glitches where guns just weren't even working, reloads wouldn't cancel, or reloads would cancel, and, you know, especially with Call of Duty, as I said. But even, like, I don't know, newer games, I feel like they're launching with a lot of glitches, and it really turns you off when you're like, you had a full year to develop this. Why not just wait a little bit? We don't need a new Call of Duty game every single year to spend $70 on and get this this half-baked piece of garbage, respectfully. I think communication is a big thing, you know? If you're going to release a half-baked game at least just to be on schedule, say that, talk. You know, Call of Duty is really bad at this. They will not communicate with people at all. And it's one of the reasons I've stopped playing it. I didn't buy Black Ops 7 this year. I'm not going to. It's just, it's half-baked. You made Black Ops 6 with wall bouncing and made the movement a little bit smoother from what I've seen. Like, that's it. That's all we got. 2 years, and we added wall bouncing. Okay. Just feel like there can be some more innovation there. Maybe I'm wrong. Point 7, I think everybody can agree here. The price of games is simply way too high. I mean, come on. We're going to spend $70 on Call of Duty Black Ops 7. $70 when you got Hollow Knight Silksong coming out at $20, giving you 10 times more, 20 times more the hours for $20. I mean, I don't get how these games can be priced so high, and people just keep buying them. And if you make them a lower point, now you don't have enough money to pay those people to do calling cards. How are we wasting so much money on something? I don't know what it is. And it makes no sense to me how these games can be priced so high. I mean, so incredibly high. And the innovation year over year just seems to be a money grab every single time. Doesn't seem like they're trying to... Like, dude, Black Ops 7 is literally Black Ops 6. It's the same exact thing with wall bouncing. In a year? That's all we got? A new storyline could be nice. Anything, man. I mean, this is just... It's so infuriating. And most people don't play these games for long periods of times, and they just hop on with friends. And so, you're telling me that these games can't be, like... less expensive so that people who are just working and want to come home and chill and play games with their friends are, like, spending too much money. Way too much money. Anyways, that's... I can't believe it. I don't know how we're pricing Black Ops 7 at $70. And many other games. I mean, I think Battlefield 6 was also pretty expensive. Our Arc Raiders is okay. It's $40. I tried it literally yesterday. It's pretty fun. $40 though? I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. $40 is definitely a lot more reasonable though. So, yeah. Next point number 8. Playing modern games feels more isolated. And I think everybody's kind of felt this. I could definitely be wrong. Maybe I'm the only person here who just feels like communities are isolating themselves. And I think video games have been stigmatized a lot in recent years as politics and other genres of content have become more popular and taken over social media platforms such as YouTube and Twitter. Well, Twitter's always been a shithole, so I guess that doesn't make much sense, but you get what I'm trying to say. Some people relax by watching movies, some people relax by reading, some people relax by watching motivational content. Yeah, I know. The big surprise here. You can watch motivational content and just relax by listening to it and not actually implementing things that it said, or the things that are said are just absolutely awful. And a lot of motivational content is built around that style to get you engaged with it without giving you any actual steps to move forward with your life. Anyways, that was a bit of a tangent, but my point is you can also just relax by playing video games by yourself, but mostly with friends. You always had the friend group, right? The one guy who was the sweat, one was maybe the team leader, one guy who had all the memes, the one person was the worst on the team, and then they would clutch up and you're like, oh my god! And like those moments just don't happen anymore, man. Everybody's got to be so freaking good at the game. And like, again, I'm a sweat who just wants to be good at video games, but why are we catering towards me when I'm such a minority? When you could have people who aren't as good at the game get like just these crazy plays that we're not catering towards these people. We're not helping them at all. I think I need to turn on a new game here. Give me a second. I mean, yeah, these types of plays, as I was saying, don't happen anymore, where everybody needs to be a sweat, everybody needs to be the point of attention, and it's kind of ironic that I'm making this and posting it on YouTube, but I would argue, like, I've been having this rant with myself that I'm not doing this necessarily for the attention. I want to talk to people. I want other people to see if they're having this same thought process as me, where we all kind of feel it, and you know, you feel more isolated. And yeah, all right, sorry for the long tangent. Back to FPS issues. Okay, point number 9, issues with the community. All right, I've ran it on the devs, and in that last point I kind of went to the community, so let's talk about it effectively. Creator to audience disconnect. As I've said before, Call of Duty's horrible at this. They don't talk to people at all. When they bring people for Call of Duty Next who are actual content creators who can talk to large groups of people who will actually listen to them, they do not take their advice at all. And if they do, it's the content creators who are sweaty. And so you're taking their advice, and it's good to take some of their advice, but not lean the pendulum so far in a way that it feels like everybody has to be the next content creator in that way, because that's just not how it works. And again, yeah, I've already talked about that. Content creators with egos. This gets me. I remember back in 2022, 2023, there was this large group of people who all had their own isolated kind of thing on TikTok, especially when Call of Duty Rebirth was getting, which is basically Warzone on a smaller scale. It was the Battle Royale, smaller scale. You could respawn with your teammates being alive. It was fun time, to be honest. But there were a lot of people who would just they would hop into a game, wouldn't talk to their team at all. And, you know, I was kind of guilty of this. Like, I'm going to be honest. I definitely fell for it a little bit. But I would still talk with other people, too. These people seem to be on their own island, making their own videos. And, you know, that's fine. But when you do it and, like, other people reach out to you and go, oh, that's such a cool clip. And you're like, it's not that good. Like, I feel like people have such big egos and can't be humble anymore. And that's definitely something that I think has ruined modern FPSs in a way, is people, they think they're too cool. They think they're too good. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just what I'm seeing. I don't know. And then number 10, games just aren't fun anymore. Now, I've provided a lot of reasons, right? You know, I've provided, I think, 9 good reasons why modern FPS games suck for the most part. But it's hard to pinpoint, like, an exact reason to explain this. So the most likely answer, like, why aren't games fun anymore? It's probably a bit of all of this, where you've got developers that don't know what their community wants. You've got the community that won't actually be a community. And one good example recently that I've had with this is the Diesel Knights community. These people have been watching my videos and giving me feedback, and I've talked to the developer, and it feels like this huge community of people just coming together over this, like, just this interest in, like, building an FPS game for people and to play and have fun with, and not just sweat and get these clips, which are cool and all, but it's much more fun when you're doing it with other people. It's much more fun when you've got a community of people that you can talk to. And I remember some of this Titanfall 2 gameplay. I was playing with some of the people in that community, and we were playing custom Titanfall 2 matches, and dude, we were just having a blast. I mean, running random guns, talking shit. It was such a good time, and I feel like that's just not there anymore in most games. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is just something I've noticed in recent years. You can obviously disagree in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys say. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I've ranted for actually longer than I thought I was going to. So that's pretty cool. Again, if you guys want to see any more content that's just chill gameplay, me talking about different issues, you know, comment down below. What do you want me to talk about? What kind of gameplay would you guys want to see? I've already mentioned an idea of talking about the YouTube algorithm, as I am a YouTuber. So I do think I can provide some good points on it. But yeah, that's it for this one. See ya.